Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. So, as always, I got some poetry for you guys, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So, this is your first time I'm here in Dixie Tales from the Labyrinth. This is your first episode. For starters, welcome, but also I'm going to be reading 5 poems in total, 3 from myself, 2 from other poets. So, let's get right into it. So, this first one is called Mind Reader. If you had a device that allowed you to read minds, anyone, or even anything, how would you use it? What would you do with it? Would you peer inside the thoughts of strangers? Would you use it on your friends and family? Would you use it to get rich? Would you use it for justice? Would you use it for selfish reasons? Or to try and benefit mankind? Would you even use the power at all? Or would you give it to someone else? So, being able to read minds, admittedly, is something that's probably crossed all of our minds at some point for one reason or another. But here I kind of inquire, and I've been asking you guys a lot of questions as of late when it comes to these poems, mostly because I'm inquisitive, but also because these are reflections of questions I've also asked myself. Like, if I had a device, or if I was able to read minds, what would I do? Would I be able to? Would I want to read someone's mind? Would I say forget it, which I also bring up kind of towards the end there, like, would you say forget it, not use the device? So if you had a mind reading device, what would you do? Let me know in the comments. This next one is called Riding Down the River. Imagine being in a boat, floating down a river, nothing but the waves, and the occasional animal, the tranquility of the water, the peace and calm of being out there, riding down the river without a care in the world. Now, admittedly, I haven't been on too many boats. I've been on a handful in my 23 years on this earth, but not too many. But being on the boats and seeing like the waves and stuff, usually is something about it is for the most part calming, unless it's a very rainy day, which has happened before, but also if you're someone who's seasick, which thankfully I'm not, but I know there are quite a few people that are. But yeah, so being on the boat, being on the water, or seeing the waves and everything, pretty much taking in all the surroundings of what's going on while you're on the river, just being on the boats without a care in the world, just riding down the boat. And that's something that a lot of people love to do, is just go on a boat and just ride down there. Some people like fishing on the boat and stuff. So I'll kind of just thinking about that and painting the picture of being like on a boat. Just for tranquility. Yeah, obviously some people are on boats for various reasons, but just being on the boat, just resting on the boat for tranquility, stuff like that, you know. Then this last one is, at least by me, is called Calendar. It feels like the dates on the calendar are flying by at a breakneck speed towards infinity, while I try and keep up, desperate to hang on as time passes by, for it truly waits for no man. So you ever heard someone bring up how time's flying by? Yeah, definitely the case. Almost every day, I'm reminded just how short life is, and just how quickly time passes by. People that you saw before who may have been a lot younger, or especially for a lot of my older viewers out there, to now they're this big and stuff like that. It's insane. It's definitely insane. And seeing people that you haven't seen in a while, well, sometimes they go through physical changes, sometimes they go through mental changes. But definitely time moving forward, time moving fast, reminiscing on something, and it was X amount of time ago. Like, man, that was this many years ago. Wow, that's crazy. It literally happens to me like all the time. Especially as of late. Maybe it's a sign of getting older. Maybe it's a sign of the clock moving extremely fast. Maybe it's both. Actually, scratch that, it's definitely both. But yeah, it's crazy sometimes, you know. Then this next one is The Wedding Planners, and this is by Gregory Pardlo. And if I mispronounce any of these names, I do apologize. But We need a preacher who will say up in here instead of herein. Our vows should reference calla lilies, and the snowy epistles that they jab ardently at our faces. Let's play their linty, foul-mouthed kiss at the center of satin tablecloths, white as bee boxes, and us buzzing like the Ichthyic, the Ichthyic, I think that's how it's pronounced. The Ichthyic insects will invent, coddlefish finning the air, murmuring for words beyond syllable and ceremony, beyond moderation, all our senses under assault. So, I imagine, not. I imagine this, and I do tend to like take a lot of these poems in like the literal sense, but I think this poem kind of like is supposed to border on like literal, but also kind of like metaphorical slash speculative, like pretty much not having a traditional wedding, not having a wedding where things are read and and you kind of go through the motions. And at least in a lot of cases, his vows and stuff like that. I've been to quite a few weddings in my lifetime, but we're going through the vows and stuff like that. No, not having a traditional wedding, but having all kinds of changes to the wedding, and making this a lot more than just your average everyday typical traditional wedding. And I imagine, like I said, this might not be meant to be taken literally, but if this is to be taken literally, and unfortunately I wasn't quite able to find, and sadly I don't think the Poetry Foundation website, which is where I find all these awesome poems, so go check them out at poetryfoundation.com, poetryfoundation.org I should say. And yeah, so this was posted on February of 2017. So if that wedding did happen and all these things did happen, Gregory, if you're watching this, Mr. Pardlo, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't, if you're watching this, please send me footage of that. I would love to see that. But this last poem is called A Farewell, and this is by Harriet Monroe. Goodbye. No, do not grieve that is over. The perfect hour that the winged joy, sweet honey loving rover, flits from the flower. Grieve not, it is the law. Love will be flying. Yes, love and all. Glad was the living. Blessed be the dying. Let the leaves fall. Oh. So pretty much talking about loss and talking about people who are no longer with us, and essentially saying don't mourn them, instead celebrate the time they were here. And that is what a lot of people tend to try and do. I noticed it a lot more recently. Hey, I imagine, and it definitely was apparent even back then, like celebration of life and stuff. But I noticed definitely more like recently, not really mourning a person's death, but celebrating their life. Being sad, obviously, that they're gone, but also talking about and celebrating the things that they did while they were here. Laughing and joking along with them about the things that they were able to do, telling like funny stories and all kind of like lighthearted moments that this person accomplished throughout their life. So that kind of conveyed here, or in a sense, don't grieve that it's over. Don't be sad that it's over and that the person's no longer with us, but instead be happy that they lived and were able to accomplish things. Celebrate their life, celebrate their accomplishments, the things that they accomplished in their time on this earth. Yes, it obviously makes sense to be sad that they're no longer with us, but be happy of what they accomplished while they were here. And that's something that I oftentimes do try to do. Who sadly, being alive for 23 years on this earth, I've lost quite a few people, whether friends or family members, who are no longer with us. And I do try to be happy and reminisce about a lot of the memories that we shared and a lot of the good things that we did while that person was on this earth. And for a lot of people, that does bring them a sense of comfort, or reminiscing about a lot of the memories and stuff while this person was here. And then and then taking those into account, to remember that person for, or the person they were, or them being an awesome, kind, gentle person. Remembering that person for who they are and what they were, instead of mourning that they're no longer here, being happy that they were alive and the things that they have accomplished. And when it is my time to go from this earth, I would hope that you all do the same for me. If I have made some impact on your life, if even just a small one, and I definitely want you not to mourn my death. I know a lot of you likely would, but celebrate the things I've accomplished in life. At least that's what I would want and hope for her. And so, this poem kind of exploring that and kind of putting it in a really nice way. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on any of these poems and my analysis. Did you like to cite the poems? Did you like to cite my analysis of the poems? Let me know, and your thoughts on the poems in the comments below. But excuse me. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.